Society tells you to do this. Don't do that. You'll never make it. Oh, you're just dreaming, bro. That's way too hard. Don't do that. What I've learned is that society is full of bullshit. People around me are fed by society, are fed by society's mindsets and whatever. And then they feed me, right? The society feeds the people, and people surrounding me feed me. Of course, that's assuming that I'm not being fed by society. Of course, I am, because of the other people. In college, so many people have told me that, oh, you shouldn't take such and such classes together because, it's way too hard. And I was convinced. I believed them, I was like, yeah, I shouldn't do it because it would be too hard. I believed that I couldn't do it, but I ended up doing it anyway. I'm grateful because one person in particular was not like the rest, and she was adamant about making me take them, and she probably thought that, it was not that challenging. I could do it, essentially. But the thing is, what if I didn't have that person? I would have been stuck in my mindset, and I would have always thought that, it would have been too hard, it's not for me, I'm not that smart, I'm not good enough to do it. And so this mindset relates to society because almost everyone thinks small. Everyone thinks, I can't do this, I'm not good enough. People think themselves are incapable of more than what they can actually do. And then they put this mindset onto other people. And so maybe you have someone who doesn't do this. Certainly like me, I did have that person at one point in time. But the vast majority of people don't. The vast majority of people just go with the tides, go with what everyone's saying. It's oh, you shouldn't do that because, people will judge you or it's too hard. And they'll be like, okay, yeah, you're right, I shouldn't do this. Yeah, I won't do it anymore. But, how sad is that? You're just told that you can't do something and then you believe them. I don't blame you because we crave social validation. And it's only gotten worse with social medias where you compare yourself so much. You lower yourself so much because of social media. Right? You put people up on pedestals, you think everyone else is so much better than you, and then you think so little of yourself. And so many people that I know keep telling me that, oh, what you do, I can never do. I can never do that because it's too hard for me. I'm just not that good. And then I look at them and I see myself in them. I see my younger self. Literally, my past self a year ago was like them. I saw myself. These people become this way because of greater society. Social media is encapsulated in society. Society tells you what to believe, and you believe it. And I don't blame you because it feels like the world is telling you to do something, and it's such a great pressure that you feel the need to conform. But believe me when I say that most things said from society, passed down to you, keeps you mediocre, keeps you small. It can get you out of poverty maybe, but it'll never make you more than that. You'll reach middle class, maybe upper middle class, and then you'll never reach higher than that if you keep on trusting society. Who in popular society tells you to be disciplined, to work your ass off? Who tells you you are a fucking lazy slob? No one. Because it would be politically incorrect. It would be wrong of you to offend people. As of right now, there are some influencers and some content creators who do this, but only some, and it's clearly not mainstream. It's society basically teaches you how to live your life. You get a 9-to-5 job, and then on the weekends you maybe go to the bar, watch some movies. Basically, work 5 days in a week for 2 days of rest. And I read that in a book, The Millionaire Fastlane, and I just thought about it. Shit, that's true. Like, most people work 5 days, enslaved to their job, to be free 2 days of the week. It's like, that's what society will make you. That's what happens when you follow society. And perhaps things have changed. I mean, the FIRE movement, the retire early movement has gotten pretty big, but I don't think it's quite mainstream. Right? It's still in its own like group. Right? And I would say the collective mainstream is still, get a job, work 5 days a week, get a wife, 2 kids. And I'm not saying that the white picket fence with a wife and 2 kids is bad. I mean, this was the nuclear family. And at least right now, like, the nuclear family is dissolved. Like, nobody really, like, the mainstream is not about the nuclear family. It's all about promiscuity, doing drugs. It's all about being hedonistic in the moment. And that lifestyle right now, it leaves so many people lonely. Right? Like, loneliness is so high right now. And maybe it's because of social media. Maybe it's because of lifestyle factors. Maybe it's because of all of these. I mean, I don't know. But certainly society tells you things that you should do, but then it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you. Like, society flip-flopped from nuclear family to promiscuity and whatever it is now. And it doesn't help. It has made men the loneliest they've ever been. Women are not happy. Men are not happy. No one's happy. No one's happy. And to be honest, I guess this entire video is just a rant about how I don't like society. How I just don't like what society tells you to do. And it's just so annoying because most people will be stuck. Most people will not take action, and I know that. Most people will not forego the mainstream, will not forego society. I mean society in terms of like what you learn from the general populace, like from news, most people's perspectives and opinions. It's like, most people are mediocre. And mediocre can only beget mediocre. Right? You learn from someone who's mediocre, and you yourself will become mediocre. Who would you want to teach you to become better? Like, if you were mediocre, would you want someone else who's also mediocre to teach you how to become a superstar? I think not. It doesn't make sense. You'd want a superstar to teach you how he went from mediocre to superstar. So society is one hell of a cesspool of just mediocre people. If you don't want to be mediocre, don't join them.